Hey, Tanya Humphrey here. Let's talk about growing your network marketing business strong in the next 60 days. Are you tired of your lack of results? Are you tired of leaving your family at home to show up to no-show coffee meetings and no-show networking events and no-show home parties that aren't really building your business? Or maybe you've had some success and you have a team, but your team is not having the same amount of success that you're having. What if I told you that it is not your fault? Listen, I was a struggling network marketer, and I left and gave up on the industry for a while. Why? Because I joined the network marketing industry as a side hustle, and in the hopes that I was going to be able to get myself out of a 17-year corporate career and have more time freedom than I had in my corporate job. So I got in and I had really good work ethic, and I decided to follow what my upline told me. So I was getting up early and having coffee meetings before work. I was working all day. Then I was calling prospects and having three-way calls on my drive home from the time I left work until I got home, and sometimes up until my kids went to bed. If I wasn't doing that, I was having home parties after work. And then on the weekends, guess what? More home parties. So 6 or 7 months into it, I was like, where is the time freedom? Oh, and my bonus check, it was a little bit embarrassing. You might possibly be able to relate if you're watching this right now. So I gave up after I just said, this is, possibly not going to work for me. And maybe you've been there before. And so after I gave up on the industry, I still wanted to decide, be an entrepreneur. So I decided to take a different route, still have my corporate job, right? And I decided that as a side hustle, I was going to go ahead and open a brick and mortar business. And I opened a kickboxing gym. Now, let me tell you, I'm laughing because there is no time freedom when you have a storefront, right? When you have brick and mortar, there's no time freedom. I don't know what I was thinking. So I hired a manager, and I was working the hours after work and before work. And my manager was running it while I was at work. After 3 years, I decided to go ahead and sell the kickboxing gym. But I didn't want to give up on being an entrepreneur. I didn't want to give up on chasing that time freedom. And it did make me realize that it wasn't the network marketing industry that was the problem. It was the methods that I was being taught on how to build that was the problem. And that's where the time freedom could happen if I figured out that puzzle. So I decided to figure out how to build my business all the way online, meaning from beginning to end, from prospecting all the way through to duplication of the team, and put a system together that is completely online so that my team could also duplicate the system. And I did it all without approaching family and friends. I did it without coffee meetings, home parties, three-way calls, or spamming my newsfeed. And I also did it without leaving my kids. But what I did get to do is I did get to leave my 17-year corporate career. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, if that sounds like, hey, you'd like to learn a little bit more about the system, then stick around. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and share with you what this system is. All right, give me a second. Okay. So the system, let me put this on the right view here. There we go. Okay, so this system is called the 60-day rapid results launch method. Okay, and there are 7 pillars that you can see here, and I'm going to go ahead and go through each of those 7 pillars. But before I do, I think it's important that we don't waste each other's time. So I'm going to also talk about who I can help with this system and who I can't help with this system. And that way you can identify which one you are. And then you can decide whether you want to stick around for the rest of the presentation. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with that. First, who I can help with this system. People who believe in network marketing. So if you're thinking, is this a pyramid scheme? You're probably not my target market, and that's okay. People that are coachable. People that are leaders and can stay focused on a proven system, people that can take ownership of their actions, that have great communication skills, that are action-oriented and driven, people with basic computer skills. You don't need advanced, just some basic skills. And then people who believe in investing in themselves and their business. So if that sounds like you, stick around. And for the people that I cannot help with this system, because that's equally important, right? So I can't help people who are opportunity jumpers. So some people who jump from opportunity to opportunity looking for the next big thing, I can't help people like that. People who don't take consistent action, who aren't willing to invest in themselves and their business, people who don't believe in building their business online, obviously, because I do it all online, right? People who don't take accountability for their actions, people who aren't coachable, people who don't believe in building as a team. And this one's super important because we don't make any money unless the whole team is making money. So you have to believe in building as a team and supporting each other in both wins and struggles, right? We work together as a team. Okay, so if you sound like any of the people on this slide, you probably want to drop off at this point because we're probably not going to be a good fit to work together, and that is okay. All right. So what makes this a unique approach to building your business online? This method is fully online. So it covers everything from a way to generate highly qualified, pre-sold prospects without awkward salesy conversations. It leverages an online system that does a lot of the closing for you and training from 6- and 7-figure earners so that your team can duplicate. And then this method also flips the prospecting numbers on their head. What I mean by that is, did you know that most network marketers have to talk to at least 10 people to even close one person into their business? And that's a pretty good close ratio for network marketers. So you could be a little bit better or a little bit worse at it, but the average is 1 in 10. This method flips that on its head, and it's an 80 to 90% close ratio. So how cool is that? So how would it feel to not have awkward sales conversations with unqualified prospects, but instead talk to people who want to join your team? And imagine how it would feel when your team duplicates the method. Let's kind of take a look at this. So pillar 1 is an online prospect generating system. So you can automatically get qualified people who are pre-sold on joining your team. Pillar 2 is an online prospect qualification and enrollment system, so that you can get more people join your team, all from wherever you want to work. So you can do this from wherever you want to work. Pillar 3 is an optional done-for-you advertising and sales process, so you can use a proven system that already delivers results, and it's optional. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Pillar 4 is a training on how to attract and close your prospects and customers, so you can create duplication and reduce attrition in your team. Pillar 5 is access to a 24/7 members-only group with 6- and 7-figure earners so they can answer your questions. So you can grow your team using what's working now methods from industry leaders. And then pillar 6 is access to members-only curiosity posts and live video example vault. So you know exactly what to post to attract new customers and new business partners. And pillar 7 is your 60-day fast start launch problems program plan so that you can get quick results. Okay, so these are all things that make this a unique approach. So in order to get all of this, you actually have one of 4 options, right? So you can pay for all of the mentoring, all of the training, and all of the systems in order to put this together yourself, right? Put this method together yourself with these 7 pillars. And if you want to do this, let me know, because I actually might have a program that you'll be interested in, because I still work with 6- and 7-figure earners, and I still am mentored by the best in the industry today. You could pay for, after you set up the system, then pay for advertising and pay for all the tweaking and the fine tuning that has to happen before it becomes a proven system. You could also pay an agency to put this together for you for your team, right? So the agency puts the whole thing together and you pay them up front to do it, and you pay them to tweak it and pay for the advertising. Or you can join someone who's already put this all together, already has proven results with their team. So those are the 4 ways that you can get this system, right? So let's talk about what the real world value of this unique system is worth, like real world dollars, right? Online prospecting generating system is about $1,200. The online prospect qualification enrollment system is about almost $3,000, worth almost $3,000. The optional done for you advertising and sales process is worth about $997, but I feel like this is a little bit low because of the amount of tweaking that you have to do, right, to really get a system up and running. But I like to keep it moderate. So training on how to attract and close your prospects and customers, real world value, about $3,600. Access to the 24/7 members only group of 6 and 7 figure earners. I personally paid $25,000, so I know what this is, real world value out there in the world, right? I personally paid it. Access to a members only curiosity posts and live video example vault, about $1,300. And then the 60-day fast start launch plan is about $1,000. So total real world value, a little over $36,000. Now, remember that kickboxing gym that I purchased. I personally paid about $200,000 in that kickboxing franchise, and it did not give me the time freedom that I wanted, and I ended up selling it. So $36,000 compared to $200,000 is pretty low, right? But here's the good news. What's it actually going to cost you? Nowhere near that, right? So if you qualify, I'm not going to ask you to invest anywhere near $36,000. I mean, nowhere near it. If we talk and if we decide that we're going to work together, we can talk about the costs here in a minute. But at this point, all it's going to cost you is a little bit of time and a video chat. And so it's going to cost you $0 at this point, because listen, I don't even know if we're a good fit. I don't know if you're a good fit to work with me and my team, right? But if we talk and if we decide we're good to work together, then we have two packages, and one is a beginner or is a basic package. It's about $199, or there's an advanced package for about $440, and we can talk a little more about what's in those packages, right? And then there's also an optional done for you advertising that is optional because everyone starts in different places. I don't know whether you're ready to go that route or not, right? So this is what it would cost you personally. So nowhere near the $36,000, right? At this point, you might be asking yourself, what's the catch, right? So some of the questions that might be running through your head are, why would I offer this for such a low fee? And it's simple. In my company, I don't make money unless the whole team is making money, right? And then also, we are a team of leaders that are building other leaders. And so the more that we can help people have success in this industry, the bigger impact we have on the network marketing industry, and the bigger impact we have on the industry's reputation, which is super important to me. And then you might be asking yourself, can this work for you, right? If you've tried other programs and they haven't worked for you, you might be thinking, I don't know if this can work for me, right? Totally get it. I can tell you this system works for people that are willing to put in the work and be consistent. And again, I don't know you, so I don't know what your work ethic is, and I don't know how consistent you are. But it can work for anyone who's willing to do those two things, right? And then the last thing you might be asking yourself is, am I going to try to hard sell you? And listen, it's the biggest pet peeve of mine ever. I hate people that do the hard sales. It drives me crazy. So the short answer to this is no. And the truth is we don't even know if we're going to be a good fit, right? So until we have a conversation, I'm not sure you're going to be a good fit for the team. And if we decide not to work together, that's okay. We will part as friends, and it is no big deal. So, listen, at this point, you've listened to the whole video, right? Or almost the whole video. And by this time, you've figured out that joining someone that's set up this system already and is having proven results is the way to go. And so you might be asking, so let's think through this for a minute. Would you rather continue dealing with rejection or have qualified pre-sold prospects on demand looking to join your team? Would you rather continue doing no-show home parties, coffee meetings, spending time away from your family, or have an online system that brings you new team members without leaving your family? Would you rather continue not making the money you dream of, or join a team that is the fastest growing in the industry, rank advanced, and feel accomplished? Would you rather stay frustrated with your lack of training, lack of support from your upline for you and your team, and have team members quitting, or plug into a proven system that duplicates, leaving you and your team feeling successful? And one more question. What will you, or where will you be if you don't make a change today and if you don't take action today? Will your business be where you want it to be, or will it be in the same place? So by now you're probably asking, okay, so what's next? How do we have this conversation? You're going to start by filling out the form below, and then that will direct you to my calendar, and you can pick a time that works for you. We're going to have a 30-minute conversation and see if we're a good fit to work together. I can only work with 10 people at a time in a 30-day time frame. So once I identify the 10 people that are going to join the team for the 30 days, then I'll go ahead and shut this down for a while. Why? Because I spend a lot of time with new team members. I spend time onboarding them, training them, and getting them set up for success. And if life gets in the way, no problem. Stuff happens. Totally get it. All you have to do is reschedule with the links that are going to be sent to you. If you don't reschedule, if you just no-show me, I won't be following up with you. I don't follow up with people that no-show. I just have too many people to talk to. So last question, and I'm going to ask again, where will you be if you don't take action and if you don't make a change? If your business is not going to be in a different place in 6 months, 18 months, 12 months than it is now, why not have that next conversation? All right, looking forward to talking with you.